Hi peeps. Flat Earth British, Martin Liedtke speaking. Welcome back to a new year, or so they say. And it's the 4th of January 2020 vision, or so they say. Peace and love, welcome to a new post. We got a very exciting week coming, guys. It's been absolutely mental. The juice that's pouring in is literally too epic for words. I'd be very excited if I were you. Now, stay tuned this week because we got something very exciting and new discoveries taking us deeper down the rabbit hole, and brilliant proofs for everything that we'll be talking about on these channels. Our translating team, Matt and Steph, have been really busy over the holiday period, and they've been translating some Latin texts from the Middle Ages. And guys, it is so juicy, but they need a little bit more time to go through it before I present it. It is just mind-blowing. Okay, guys, so stay tuned. That's coming this week. This vlog, okay, is another discovery, okay? The realities of atmospheric electricity, free energy in the golden age of Tartaria, taken out so they could basically bill us for eternity after the days of their man Edison. Now, we talk about this all of the time on Flat Earth British and all the other channels. The evidence is overwhelming, okay? And this stuff really does exist, which I'm going to give you evidence for now. Some cool documents being handed in by Kirk, okay, concerning atmospheric electricity and the electrostatic potential, which is trapped in ether, which can be released. Now, why I'm talking about this and why I keep on about this is because the thought of, the powers there should not be, actually having free energy all along, okay, and having, endless people digging for coal in my country, Wales, for seemingly no reason, okay, keeps the masses busy though, doesn't it? Okay, so that's been going on for 100 years or so. Okay, I'm going to show you evidence now that this is indeed the case, that all of this disappeared just prior to Edison, okay, and the Tesla era. So free energy, freely available, locked in the electrostatic potential. The higher up you go, the more electrostatic potential you get, which is why all the Antiquitech devices, which are church machines, are incredibly high, which is why all of the Tesla towers, which you see in expositions, etc., are really high, as in hundreds of feet high. But there seems to be a standard height, according to this document, for Tesla towers, or electrostatic gathering towers. It's a very interesting book. I won't be going through it all, but I'm going to give it to you so you can all muck in if you don't mind. And everything that I will be giving you, please feel free to go through it yourself and just contribute your knowledge and information and view. Okay, share your view. That would be very nice. Thank you. So yeah, it's been monumental. Everything that's been flooding in, and Flat Earth British has been monumental too. We had a brilliant ad made for the Holy Grail of our Flat Earth, the Flat Earth British Peeps book, and a million thanks to Kay and Peeps to put that together. We'll have a little look at that at the end. It's a beautiful video. Everyone has said exactly the same. So we're going to have a look at that. So we're going to look at some applications for atmospheric electricity. We're going to look into 100 things besides, but I've had to limit it down. I had to get rid of about 20 pages just then, because I thought this could go on for 3 hours. And then I had another email with wow, shall I put that out? No, I can't, because it's incomplete, but it is mind-blowing. Okay, evidence for reset, mud flood, the whole thing. Okay, so stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to Flat Earth British, and in my resources on my website, which is Flat Earth British Info, which will be linked, you can find all the other associated channels that talk about all of the subjects of Tartaria, mud flood, free energy, and all other applications for the well-being and benefit of all peoples. Okay, so old ladies don't have to go cold anymore in the winter and stuff because they can't afford to pay the bills. And now British Gas, right, have lost their contract now, so you can't actually buy. They give you a card, but you can't actually go to the shop and buy gas on the card. So if you're old, you have to venture off and find a post office, which is not open on the weekends. If you want gas on a Sunday, you're flying fucked. Because they don't really know the internet. So yeah, they've broken everything. Things were just not this bad back in the 80s, 70s even. They really know how to break things. Maybe they just got an illusion that we're all going forward. And we're not. Maybe we're all going backwards. Yeah, we're going backwards, all right. And I will show you how backwards right now. And you can see the old world of only 120 years ago, okay, and how people were living. Okay, it's quite shocking in some parts, but you know, there is the class system introduced by them. Okay, the other side are doing very well indeed. Okay, so we're gonna have a look at a lot of stuff. Peace and love. Hope you all have a good time in chat. I will be with you there now. This will probably run an hour, hopefully. I say that all the time. Anyway, happy new whatever year it is to you all. Okay, we start here. The gathering of electrostatic charge from the ether. Okay, the higher up you get, the more you get. And this is from 1922, a science experiment with electrostats balloons, which they have, as far as we know from what we found out on British Associated channels, way back further than the Montpellier brothers. That is just another psyop story told to us. So they draw electrostatic charge down into these little substations, Bunko Booths, and they draw it back through wires into giant dynamos running basically electric power stations. And it's what we got here: concrete, glass, bitumen and concrete. So Tesla Tower as well, wood sheathing. Why wooden? Because it's not very good at conducting? Maybe. Let's have a look at this. A windlass safety cap, and it runs a nice big powerful generator. Sweet. So that's in 1922, but we know they got all axe cars up and running. They got dynamos on it, but whatever potentials they got. Okay, Novigrad, one of the earliest expositions in Russia, and they got in outside of their Crystal Palace, which we think these could be older, and you could fit a balloon inside a Crystal Palace amazingly, couldn't you? So are these old world leftover balloon barrage balloon or balloon depots? Just a thought. And you got the free energy mast, like a Tesla Tower at Novgorod in Russia. And this is more in the current day. This is also in Russia. They say it was for carrying lines over some sort of gorge, but I don't think there's any need for that shape or lattice work and pyramidical and reaching up and up, you know, just like a building. It was free energy and more of Novgorod. It's all just being built at the bottom and they're all ready. So viewing platform or Tesla towers. This is Novgorod as well, I believe. It definitely looks Russian. Yeah, okay. And you're getting pretty high, and it seems to be a standard height. And in Russia, no, as I said, guys, Russia, China, we have much evidence of electricity. This looks like, wow, I don't even know. A giant pyramid with lights coming out of the top. Wow, where is that? Can't actually make that out. Yeah. Well, that is mega interesting anyway. So these things, look at this. This looks like everything we see today, the bottom bit, doesn't it? With the Greco-Romano, and then the next step up, and then the next step up. Maybe a lot of them, we only see this bit, and all this bit is underground. It's just the craziest stuff. And this is a telegraph tower. Dual potential, dual purpose, or is it just for distributing telegraph? Because it looks a bit messy and haphazard from my mind, but if you've seen the Swedish telegraph layout, they want you to believe that too. These are Newton's pyramids. Whether they existed, I don't know, but I think out of his mind, he's visioning an insanely big pyramid, like what you get at Mount Meru. An insanely big, mind-blowingly big pyramid. An artificial structure. So if you're there, this one's Poland Street Tower potential. Was going to be built, I don't believe it was though. Another one, light, health, rest, pleasure. Isn't that interesting? And look how big this thing was going to be. Absolutely huge. And we think they were energy gatherers too, covered in electrum. You see? Towers with electromagnetic gathering potential. And this for lightning. But what was this thing really for? They say it was like a radio mast or for wireless, but I think this had another purpose, as did many lighthouses. Look at that, guys. Is this what it was like before in San Francisco? We'll have a look later. Some new pictures have been handed in by Larry. Quite mind-blowing. Ghostly images again. What if they were like this? This looks exactly like the architecture we see. Very science fiction-y, and we can just trace electricity being used right the way back. We've seen images from, you know, this is the early Victorian image, but we got 18th century images, guys, and this is how we see this world before it was reset. A bit like Blade Runner or free energy, flying vehicles, the whole thing. We're actually not doing that good. I think this is a brilliant picture. It's nothing to do with what it is. I think it's analogous for where we are. A big room. So you got people on the floor. It's being watched by somebody, a non-human, with an elongated head. So he's like an observer, watcher. And then it's cubes of houses on top of cubes of houses. And what seems to be like an artificial black sun or orb. If people were living in this world and didn't know what was outside, how would they know anything else existed? Just like on the film The Village, they didn't know what was outside, just like us. Just like that film Things to Come I talked about in my last post. Them people didn't know what was off of Britain. A generation had passed. They had no idea that everything was so advanced outside in their world. Just like us. Just like us. So, I could go on with these for hours. I have hundreds and hundreds of towers. Look at this, RKO, 1923 image, right? Or 1920s, probably 28 maybe this. And they got like the globe before NASA had even seen it or said they seen it in 1969. It's just nuts, but they got a radio mast on the North Pole. I think that's a clue too. What that? Did that exist? Well, Newton, or Newton's epitaphs were drawn up. Now what about this insanity? The monument of the year 2000. So they got a lot of people, a load of sticks, and they put a big rock in the air. Do you think that's sensible? It's got an eye. Is that a head? So I'm not sure why they would do that. It looks dumb. Because he's stupid. That rock comes down, it's just going to squish the freaking lot of them. And I think a lot of rope going on. I'm just wondering how they got it up there. Oof. Anyway, let's move on. So this is that document I was telling you about, right? It's pretty brilliant. I'll tell you what it's got enclosed in it now. So basically the score of this is from 1814, but it deals with like years like 1844 and prior to this date. And it is, I suppose, the government testing the electrostatic potential, the devices they use, the inventions they use, and what they're getting up to. Okay, guys, with terrestrial magnetism and electrostatic charge. Okay, now this is what they got in the book. I'm not going to cover all the chapters, obviously, because I've got to get on. But Department of Terrestrial Magnetism regarding improvement of appliances for measuring of Earth's magnetic elements by magnetic and electrical methods, on the new method of determining the Earth's horizontal magnetic forces. Isn't that interesting? The measurement of atmospheric conductivity, together with certain remarks of the theory of atmospheric radioactive measurement. Isn't that interesting? Magnetic declination and chart corrections obtained by the Carnegie from Plymouth, England to Greenport, Long Island. Now that, with magnetic declinations, could be really helpful. The moon's influence on the Earth's magnetism. Well, yeah, there's a plasma effect, and as is the sun, if they are actually there at all. Personalia magnetic resurvey of the British Isles. Okay, that could be interesting. I reckon there could be magnetic anomalies. You've all seen, haven't you, in California, they got this place where, you know, there's a magnetic anomaly. There's a few of them I've seen in America, where there's no straight lines, balls go uphill. There's one in Scotland, a hill in Scotland, where you go on a skateboard, you go uphill. It's just nuts to see, guys. You can see it on YouTube. It just trips you out. You think, is that real? Magnetic anomalies. So, where are we? Okay. Principal magnetic storms recorded in Cheltenham, and buildings and site for atmospheric electrical observations at Postham. And they got like a map of this building. You want to see what's in there for 1914. It's just nuts. The tree forced vibrations of suspended magnets. Ooh. On the non-cyclical change, the theory of electrical dispersion into 3 atmosphere, with the discussion of the theory of gradient conductivity apparatus. Okay, measurements of electrical conductivity and free atmosphere up to 9,000 meters in height. Well, that's going to be interesting. What else we got? Abstract results of magnetic observations by Arakote Antarctic expedition. Is that interesting? Magnetic anomalies. The Southern Pacific magnetic anomaly, perhaps? Okay. Local magnetic constant and variations. Magnetic declinations and chart corrections, again, for a different location. Haverfest, Norway. Atmospheric electricity observations. So anyway, it just goes on. But by here as well, free energy, magnetism, so they know about maglev. The free force vibration suspended magnet. Okay, so they're quite well of magnetic maglev technology. And this is what it is telling you all about regarding improvement to appliances of measuring the Earth's magnetic elements and magnetic and electrical methods. It's absolutely brilliant, actually. So I haven't gone very far into it. I've gone 33 pages. 33. But, you know, there's big clues in what I've seen so far. It is absolutely amazing. And in this lab, or whatever it is, they got like the magnetic laboratory. About that is all very interesting. But they got one up here. That's the storage battery room. So they certainly got electricity. But they seem to have, yeah. So different stories, laboratories, study, physicist. What else they got? Here, computer, study. So they got computer rooms. So what kind of computers? Like abacus? What? So electromagnetic meters. So a lot of shit going down in there. I would love to see what that was looking like when it was active. Postham, amazing architecture there. Somewhere else I was going to look into. So enjoy. We're going to move on. So applications for if for the existing electricity that's trapped in the ether, and the ability to get it out. What applications? Street lighting. Street lighting. Is that gas? There's no telegraph, is there? There may be here, but this is obviously an altered photo. The people look at it, but what does the tram run on? There's no horse. If it's on the rails, then that's dead dodgy for a horse if it gets its hoof in the live wire, a bit like the London Underground. Zap. There's no horse, is it? No. So is it steam powered? Maybe I seen one in Halifax that was steam powered. What about this one? There's no wires above. Looks like she's hammering along this one. It's not a tram, but here we see Riga, Latvia, all these little non-aesthetically pleasing spikes that are sticking out of this mad big mud flooder. And these. I'll keep an eye on these because I'm going to show you a picture later on in Pics of the Day of star forts somebody sent in. Big universal shout to anyone who shares mine. I can't remember all the names, it's just too many of you guys, and I'm just rubbish with names really. So keep an eye out for these U-bend. We've never get any wires on them, and we think they're to do with transference of energy, electricity or electrostatic gathering, but we think these, the Tartarian buildings, are doing much of the work into these substations, Bunko Booths, across bridges at these Bunko Booths, and then across and carrying it because they're pretty, close together, intermittent. But they disappear from about 1895 to 1900, we find. They're here, they're everywhere. They're in Australia, America. I think this one might be Melbourne, I think. Electric, possibly, yes. But they still got these masts. So, gas lighting, or electric. This is a weird picture, this. I think there's two streets going on, I'm not sure. Right, it's altered its colour. They got the tram, there's no overhead wires. They got electric motors, but what are they running on? Anyway. So you got all these lampposts along here. There's nothing. One there. Big grand lampposts there, but all look like gas lights there. But Tartaria in the background. And that is in Cork, in Ireland. Place I would go to like a drop of a hat. I just absolutely love to go to Ireland. The Irish just rock. I like the Welsh. Just never give up. They never give up. Never piss off an Irish person. Fuck that. Take it from someone who knows. Anyway. So I guess they could be electric. That's in more modern days. In Prague. And these. Double-decker trams. What they're running on. What about this one? So this is in Russia, right guys? So how's this getting into the bridges? Did they have higher... Is it Russia? Bastille? I guess it could be France. Yeah, right, okay, it is Paris. Excuse me. How is it getting into the bridges? Did they have bigger bridges? Is this like how they were back then? And what's it running on? It's like a train. Guess it could be diesel. But that one. That's the one in Russia. Check that one, guys. Check that behind for a start off. Wow. Okay, and look at that. So where's the engine? Is that an engine? Is there wires above? Yeah, there's a cable coming off. That one's electric. Look at that double deck. How's it getting into the bridges? What's going on? Do they have bigger bridges? Look at that. That's going underground. Is that for the underground that is not there yet? And these things. So I reckon they were getting round in trams in the golden era, no problemo. This is Japan, exactly the same thing going on. No matter what I'm going to show you now, guys, you're going to see this architecture replicated in America, Japan, Hong Kong, anywhere. and you'll recognise it. I'll show you in America, LA, shortly in this vlog, some sweet photographs, and hopefully Russia if I get time. These, just massive jumbles of wire. Okay, I get it. They might be some telephone by then, a telegraph, these, but just the mass of them. Some of them haven't got any wires at all. And the tram, of course, which is gently running along. Now that's the horse drawn you would expect to see in St. Petersburg. These photos, right, there's loads of people around. I'm going to show you St. Petersburg and Russia later, steaming with people at exactly the same time as I show you other photographs when it's all empty, almost like two timelines. So yeah, something like a couple of ton of truck in the snow, dragged by horses. Is this because they pulled the plug on the free energy and then put the horses on the trams? Existing tram lines dug out in the mud? Or this one, Japan. These again. Look how scruffy it all is. But they've got these. And you see these on roofs, you know, rooftops all over Europe at a specific period. Let's have a look at this one. This is electric. For electric. No, horse. What are they doing? So he's fixing a light bulb. And that one's taking two horses maybe to drag it along. So that city hasn't got electric trams. They're doing it down there too. What are they doing? Maybe they're getting ready for electric trams. My city had them. I got a video about it. They got rid of them by 1960s. We had bloody brilliant trams. Look at these. Okay. Everything's just built bigger for bigger people. So look at this, Petersburg. Anyway, let's move on. Energy gathering towers. Here. More. Show where that is. But look at that. Wow. Again, stepped up, higher and higher into these things. Look at that. It looks like Greco-Roman temple, mud flooded. And these. No wires coming off them. Get them everywhere. Everywhere. Here we go again. So I could go on showing you these things forever, but fix them in your mind anyway, okay guys? Associated with these, which look like they're power stations. You get Bunko Booths. Look at this. Duckboards, mud. Bunko Booth there, you see, next to it. And then you get these. So it's part of this original setup. Yeah, they got all that, right? They put these up, and they haven't even got a path. Just mud. Yeah, we'll put these really high technological things up while you're all in the mud. Look at this one, yeah. Mud's just come around there. We're going to talk about that this week. Brilliant evidence. Can't wait to talk about it. So I've got a Russian theatre outside. These strange U-bend devices. And they're all mud flooded. As you get everywhere. On a plane, for some reason. Again. So I could go on. And that's what it looked like. Moscow. Probably early 1800s. I've got some of 1700s, and they are all illuminated with electricity. Isn't that beautiful? Again, electricity. That looks like some Phoenician dew. A regatta. Looks like it might be a canaletto, because he liked painting all that stuff going on. Don't know, but wow. Anyway, Bunko Booths. If you know what Bunko Booth is, it's a name for these things, what they call advertising bollards, and they're all over Christendom, and they have, you know, some of them are really big and round. You can go in them, keep your mops in them or whatever to clean the street with, but they have seemingly no purpose. They become public toilets later and advertising, but they were mad on corporate stuff back then. There's one advert on there, but you know, nothing else going on, is there? See? Mud. Wood. Mud and wood. Wood paths. Look at that then, guys. See what I mean? You have these on the end of bridges. And why would you have that there? What is its purpose? They don't say, do they? It was just a guard tower. It don't look like a fucking guard tower. It looks like a tech on your roof. This is my fictitious conversation with the person I'm asking about the tower, obviously. And these Bunko Booths. To get the charge across the bridge to the other side. Free energy. Okay, endless evidence, and this is basically, I think, towers and maybe star forts, but that after reset, when everything is sludgy and muddy, you're going to need to terraform. Okay, which I think is what this advanced tower of whatever Colossus is doing. More electricity. Right, we're going to move on. Tower of Babel. So this is another mindblow book, actually. I was reading it the other night and thought, what exactly am I reading? So it's concerning electricity again, but it's concerning this experiment that went down in the Serpentine Lake in Hyde Park, the whole of it, in 1843, right? And it's looking into an account of some remarkable applications for electric fluid to the useful arts. Okay, so it's electromagnetic printing telegraph, and also the electromagnetic clock in 1843. Isn't that really, really interesting? So, full of bloody massive clues. So they're dealing with this fluid. There's forces that they have recognised, and they're trying to isolate, and they're using the lake, which apparently has not been there that long at that period of 1843. Excuse me, shoot the pictures, bring up the thumbnails. So basically what they're doing is making electrolyte out of a lake and making voltaic a solution out of the lake. And this lake is massive in the Serpentine, is 1 mile long, and this is what they've done. So in my mind, right guys, mix this with aspects of Aquatech, Antiquitech, the water of the Phoenicians, which we'll look a little bit now in a minute. Lakes in parks and stuff, I think they are charging electricity, making electricity, and in this case they're doing it. Look at this, guys, complete a circuit. Okay, and they're turning the whole lake into a conductive lake. Okay, it goes into great details. I haven't read it all, obviously, but I fully intend to when I get some bloody time, because things are being mental busy, and there's a lot coming down happening in a minute, which I'll give you a rundown on soon. Please stick around. So, yeah, another application for electricity is using water. Okay, in lakes, in this case the Serpentine River, to create electrical charge, which is highly interesting. It's a big, massive battery in that case. Okay, maybe that's what they were doing with all the lakes. Oh, some clues into early London then, in 1842 even. So anyway, so this one as well, this is quite interesting. These are different books, I won't go into them more, but it's about Aquatech, okay, and industry. But this one here, that one is industries. This one here deals with distillation. Deals with distillation and hydraulics. So distillation of water. This one is as well is fountains, Phoenician fountains. Long been talked about how these things have been operated, pumped, and everything. But they give you a lot of details, and we're going to look into some shortly for pumping. That looks like very much like a press, because I think that's exactly what it is. I won't be able to go through this document. Gallagher don't let me do it. We're moving on. More tech. Now, I presented a 14th century text from the Arab world, and the miracles of basically miracle machines. And this is another guy, probably survivor of the events, if he existed, is Leonardo da Vinci. But I'm feeling he's another one of their peeps, one of their, like Galileo Galilei, if he existed, an agent. If not, he's fictitious, and it's we can't say who done all of that mountain of work, Sistine Chapel, everything else, these inventions, which seem to me to be very clever. But would we be looking at these pictures, say, in 1830s or 1840s or something. Because they, you know, what's this with a flamey stick? Looks like a fasces. And what is it? It's a boat, and it's got a thing. So is it a dredger? And it spits all the shit out of the back. Something for getting rid of mud out of the bottom of water. So it seems to be associated with water. Doesn't tell you what the invention does. But I feel that, just like Tesla and Edison, really, I think the social engineers bring us Da Vinci and the others as well, to spin us a yarn. Now what we're going to look at now, guys, is what happened to Jerusalem. Where is Jerusalem? We've pinpointed it in all sorts of places. Italy. Oh. AE map is a psyop. You won't be staying, and like I give a fuck. Okay? It's a projection. We always say, yeah? Just, oh. Each to their own. So on here, I should have turned off my notifications actually. So Jerusalem, for some reason, on the 1280 Mappa Mundi, which is in Hereford Cathedral, okay, is full of Phoenician stuff like mermaids, fictitious creatures. But what we're going to look at is why Jerusalem looks like the most elaborate star fort. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cogs coming off of a large wheel. Looks nothing like we'd expect for, you know, something from that early period. So this part, you know, circular, you know, battlement of sorts. Not really. And what happened to this in later days? Okay, so this there on a Mappa Mundi, which is supposed to be the oldest, you know, one of the oldest maps in existence. So what does it look like following 1290? Let's have a look. Now, somebody passed me a video, not that I want to bother anybody by it, but I will mention it, by a Lebanese scientist. He was a bit biased, but you know, whether or not Christ was from Phoenicia. And then he put forward a series of maps of the Holy Land, which pinpoints it at that time. There weren't too many Jews around at that period there. So it is in sort of, and Nazareth was in fact part of the Phoenician Empire. Was he one of them? Who knows? But the evidence was persuasive that they're in the same area, and a lot of the people he had something to do with were Phoenicians. So, and there is the said vent outside, okay, with loads of blood dripping, and little Antiquitech pyramids and device. So the coding definitely tells us this is the case. So there's a document here that came in I was going to cover. So it says this. No, I looked over it, but I thought to myself, this is the same sort of Jesuit campaign that we've seen with the John Strews. If you haven't read that, it's an incredible book, but it's like a poisoning campaign, and it's buttering them up like they're really, really good. I got to think about the Phoenicians. You know, they can do a good job at pretending they're, you know, they're epic and nice if they tried, but the fact still remains that all the sucking up and the stuff they give you, if they do give it to you, they still reset your ass. Okay, so you know, think about that. So this is the Holy Land. This is this picture this guy was bringing up in this documentary I watched. So what the hell is going on with the star footage? And Bethlehem is right next to it on this map. And there's a topography of the Holy Land, which certainly would have been subject to events. And this is another map I found really early, and it is circular there with an inner circular bit, and it's situated around the same place. And this is amazing. So these are all the places, and they show you the Phoenician Empire. Okay, the Holy Land. You've got Tyre, is a big city. Sudan, got Beirut, far. So I'm guessing that Jerusalem is there, so Bethlehem is right next to it by there. Solomon's Pools, Rachel's Tomb. Let's have a look down on the coast, see what sort of stuff they got going on down there. Oh, Apollonia. That's Jaffa. Haffa. Right, let's have a look. This is interesting. Let me know what you think. Oh, there's Haffa. Quite a prominent tree. So, have a look. Let's have a look. Tomb of Jonah. So, is that where the whale spat him out at Sedan? Stanhope Castle. What? In Phoenicia, Stanhope. Stanhope. Wow. Sounds like a guy from the north of England. You ever met Stanhope? Yeah. Bobek. Oh, it's in the vicinity, Mount Hermon. Tomb of Seth. Ah, right. They got the Tomb of Seth on you. Okay. Dan. So that's the tribe of Dan. What else we got, guys? What else we got? Mount Hermon, Damascus, the oldest inhabited capital city on earth. Or so they say. Okay. Wow, some map. So there's Jerusalem, and it's no longer round. It's now square. But all these things from the Bible and from the flood seem to all be on here. And the Dead Sea is full of salt. You can float in it. It's like no other sea on earth. It's high up. It's got like higher salt, salt content of any lake. No accident. And right there as well. More going on. Okay. Well. The book that is being translated, by the way, as well, because there's two books concerning Christ, is basically the vengeance of Notre Tsarov and Jesus Christ, which is a bit like the vengeance of Emperor Vespasian, and it's exactly the same time period as well. It is mind blowing. Look at this: 4 angels, Asia, inertia plane. Just paradise. Bit like the star photo, isn't it? And here's Jerusalem. You got the Ariel, the Temple of Solomon, which got big ditches and massive walls. What else we got? It's all green, isn't it? What happened to the desert? There's Bethlehem. Not much deserty stuff going on, is there? It looks all green and pleasant, with deciduous trees. So much for the desert at this period. If you see that a lot. Same here. They got what's that? They got radar. Is that one of those radar domes, or is that like an observatory? Anyway, so this is an early Jerusalem map. This one's gone a bit round. There's no subsections like we just seen now, is there? This is all smashed to hell. Everything here smashed outside of the city wall. I think I know what happened. We'll talk about it. Mount Zion. And the trees are all on nice green grass you'd expect to see in Jerusalem. Yeah, take a look on Google Earth. There's lovely little deciduous trees all about. So anyway, don't know what that is. No, I'm being sarcastic, it's not, because it's desert. Deserty as fuck. There it is. Bethlehem's there. Tartaria and Centuro, Jerusalem. There could be another location. I know in the English Civil War, that's all that bloody Oliver Cromwell keeps banging on about is we want Jerusalem. We want it now. Just think, what does he mean? Look at this, mud flooded. The mud coming up to you, or the waters. Are they giants? Look at this building. That's the Tartaria, isn't it? Temple of Solomon, is that's what it looks like. Oh, the lead atlas is a bit different, but yeah, you've got no round 40-bit going on there. It's all a bit haphazard. What's going on here? Ah, Antiquitech. Caught fire. So yeah, you can find anything out on here. It's brilliant. You got Rome, which looks like palaces. Okay. You got Paris, which is significant, apparently, and Hereford, which is significant. And this is Ireland. That's Wales. That blob there, not attached to England. And there's Scotia for the Pics. So what about Hadrian's Wall, guys? Okay, was this the extremities, the northern extremities of the so-called Roman Empire? Because there's, according to James, another wall beyond there. Or were they trying to keep something the fuck out? Yeah? And I'm not just talking about the Scottish, or the Pics, or the Celts, or whoever was there at the time. Hebrews, whoever. Is it tech? Is it beasts? So, 3D. So it's made of vellum, which is stretched hides as such, and you got these as well. Blemies, witnessed by Alexander the Great. Scapupods, which fat in your general direction. Troglodytes, which you got really nowadays, haven't you? And Cenosafia, which are also cryptids. So, wildebeests, Bible stories. So what we got for Noah's Ark? There's a little house with all wires below it. You don't want to make a boat like that. You might sink. Red Sea. Why is it red? It's not red when you look at it. Was it full of blood? And the Tower of Babel, which is on it. Which has a river running directly below it. Isn't that interesting? And beside it as well, is it? So it was right through it. Anyway, Mappa Mundi, in case you don't know. So moving on for more information. These are brilliant. Somebody passed me. Love these. Old coins. These are brilliant for date anomalies and just other stuff really. But 17 I748. And check this out, guys. You can mag right up on them. They're lush. I748. Some of them get really obscure. Look at that for a look at the 3-dimensionalism. That's not a coin. You got the Masonic Pyramid. What is the time? Okay, we're good. We're good. He hasn't got a wig on, has he? Yeah, he has. So look at that. That's a lovely little stamp. So, coin. Let's have a look at another one. This one's got events on it. No, sorry. Drop that one. This one's got events on it. I think that one is Hamburg, if I'm not mistaken. But is that a volcano making its own lightning? Who knows? Next one. Let's have a look. Ooh, Phoenicians. Laurel leaf. Balav Bliguscum. Balav Beliscum. Look at all them. Well, that's been worn and used a bit. And we got a, don't even want to say, a J542 and a D, another, so that's an I. It's got one there. And it's a Phoenician ship. Oh, I love that. That's brilliant. So they're brilliant, these coins. Let's have a look at another couple. This one's Hamburg. Check that out. Now we got a, whatever that is, a J653 and a beautiful star for H on a coin. I think that one's definitely Hamburg. And a flying saucer, or a UFO, being held up by hidden hands. Magnetics. Horn of plenty, you are. We are nice, we do care. We'll give you all nice, good stuff. Look, really good view. Might be Monsanto, but yeah, it's alright, it's alright. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, this one's Hamburg. Because it tells you, I think. Yeah, Hamburg, same as the last one. But look at the Antiquitech towers. No wonder they splattered it in World War II. I love Hamburg. I was 18 on my own on the Raper ban. Let loose, a young Welsh sailor. Fun. So, 3x code, we know what that means. All this is EM analogous. So I've got another one. So I'll give you the link, you can go through at your own leisure. There's plenty of juicy stuff for this. Ooh, what's this one? So we got a Mercury. Got success. Got a tridented Poseidon saying, check my ship. I bet you that's a real size ship and he's a giant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Numeral system. No tonnage. What are these here, guys? What are they? Cluage. Oh, I like these. So it's a rock. Oh, I wouldn't even like to say. There's a little shovel there. Oh, it's a rock. Oh, it's a mining operation in a mountain for gold. Because there's a sieve. For sieving gold. Get your gold. Get your crown. Get your laurel leaf. Okay. Oh, he's got a wig. So he's got a syphilis. He's got a sif on. Wow, look at that. It's that thing again. J680. I'm sure they managed to do. Look at the roofs on it. Wow. So who we got here? Who we got here? Well, you don't get your face on a coin for being a good fucking bloke. Okay. So. Ooh, that's juicy. What are they? Oh, what are they? Fucking hell. This is tech. It's protecting all these people. It's a Faraday cage, isn't it? The fleet are behind them. The hat on a stick. You know who used to do that? Winston Churchill. He used to put his hat on a stick. Part of his shtick, he had this act thing, didn't he? Because he was an actor. Look at this. In fact, they all were. Because they're all one gang. I got my son bugging me shitless now, saying there's going to be a nuclear war. You know that. You know Iran's. You know they're going to be in a tank. You know, it's like, well, you seen all this on the telly? It's alright. Do you know how many times in my life I've heard this? I remember when the first Gulf War went off. I'm like, fuck me. I got sea time. I'm 100% going to be called up. Which I could have been. J6 is red. Excuse me. Joking. J628. And they're all like it. That one's pretty nice, isn't it? I don't know why that's doing that. Let me reduce some of these. And we'll move on. That one's pretty good. I like that one. That one's pretty good. Okay, there's a wiggy. Ooh, that one was brilliant. That one's better. And that one is lightning and a sun. And the lightning is hitting wheat. So that's not a happy place, is it? So it goes on. That's serpentage. Something. Serpent and this what looks like Hebrew. Plenty of people tell me what it means. That looks like a crown of thorns around a plasma dischargey thing. Next one looks good. Is a starfort. It's a time, 9 o'clock. Right. J648. Masonic handshake. Okay. Let's have another look at another one because these are bloody brilliant. Tell me when to stop, guys. Wow, look at these. Oh, Let's have a look at that one. Ah, look at that one. No, I6. Oh, don't know. Shield 09. Wow. They're amazing. Is that Fasces? No, they're just grabbing their column. Let's have a... Don't match up that one. Star Fortage. Ooh, well, they're triumphant when they go and nick either a big pillar or a weapon that they're hugging and really got a thing about, which looks like it might be a weapon actually. It looks like it's Fasces tech to me. Anyway, let's have a look. Anyway, let's move on because the time's going on. So I'll give you the link. There's some Star Fortage, Masonic shakies going on there. All sorts. Love it now. So anyway, so if you're a child in the Victorian era or the early Edwardian era, 1901, you're going to work down the mill. Okay, if you're poor. Okay, and this is what they got everyone doing. This is why no one's at Blackpool. They're all off doing jollies, and all the kids are slaves. Check this out. And this is all the action coming out of the mill. It's like they've been in there forever and they've just got set free. There's a guy who sells them beer as well, so most of them are just boys, no school going on. They're in the mill, all of them. It's horrendous. That looks pretty sad. So look at this. Seen him before in a photograph. And his sister. Come on, Harry, we're going. Hang on, there's a camera. She's not very impressed. Look at them, they're only kids. They look about a freaking middle-aged. It's awful sad. So that's in Rotherham. So I was looking at one because they had. It was in Halifax, and these are Mitchel Keynon films. Well, this is one's from Guy Jones, but he's got Mitchel Keynon. And this one's Halifax, the other Halifax. Take a look at the architecture. This is in Halifax in England. Downtown Halifax we got in England, is it? Check the architecture, because we'll see it everywhere. Same. A lot of children. A lot of e-buy gum going on. Let's have a look up here. So it's like the other, it looks exactly the same as the other Halifax. And here's an electric tram. 1902 electric tram. Plowing up the hill. Well, I think it might be electric. Did you see any? Oh yeah, it is. There's one there. So, a day in the life of Halifax. The other Halifax. Ooh, he's going a bit fast. They should be nicking him for speeding. So I love these old films. They're amazing. People are just fascinated by the camera. Snowy day up north. Let's look at that church. Nice. Ding ding. Hold on tight, please. So, just sharing that because they're really good. If you haven't seen any of these Mitchel Keynons, these are Guy Jones, he's brilliant, but Mitchel Keynon films, right, they are absolutely amazing. Okay, moving on. Now, what's the time? It's 20 to 9. Let me see this tonight if I go through these, but I want to give you an example. Is LA. And this is turn of the century. You got the same thing going on with these anomalous posts leaning back, and these what look like energy gatherers, but the architecture, guys, the architecture is what we're looking at. Tartaria, mud flood, massive. Look at the wires. Why so many wires? Tartaria. Very nice. So it's that beautiful architecture you could see in Portland, Oregon, or San Francisco before the events. Them huge buildings are everywhere in so-called Christendom. This one's having it tarted up. Shame we can't get it from the foundation up. We always see it at its last stages, don't we? Look at this. Top heavy. Because half of it's down there. LA. LA got flooded. Tartaria, LA. There's a lot of mud, isn't there? A lot of mud going on. And they move houses for relocation in the 50s. LA. But I just want to show you the architecture. You know, look at this Moorish theme. Tartaria in LA. That's nice. Santa Barbara. And all these. This is just, you got these today. Every British city got these. Every American city still. A lot of them got rid of, I bet. Especially in LA. But yeah, anyway. Look at this. It's a mosque covered in ivy, really old. LA. Or whatever it is. Synagogue, mosque, I don't know. An old church. LA. Beautiful photographs, these, isn't they? They're flooded. Beautiful houses. Look at all this. Why put it there? Why put it there? I have to build this big, massive retainer and everything. It makes no sense. And laying pipes in LA. These photographs from the the LA water board. But look how pristine this image is. What do you think? So they plug in there, balloon, get reboosted before it flies off down the next street. Absolutely beautiful photograph. Beautiful photographs of LA. And this is actually Detroit. This is basically an arc lamp which they had in the sky to illuminate the central square. They did it everywhere. This thing of beauty is a joy forever. There is no place like home. Well, your mud flooded. Mud flooded? And New York. Look at Battery Park. There was a massive star fort there. I'm guessing this is by where the Twin Towers went. So that period, most of it's just park. I'm guessing Battery Park's not that big these days, guys, is it? I'm guessing not. So, the Empire State Building. I was taking the photograph. There's the Empire, is it? No, because that'd be Midtown. It's up here somewhere, isn't it? So, Chrysler Building there. It is not. Okay, so pretty early on. No date for him, sorry. Anyway, let's move on. These are New Albany, Indiana, and the example I just showed you of Britain, Halifax, LA, is now in this beautiful place, New Albany. It's not Albany, New York, the capital. And it says here, these people, they have 2 electric light companies, waterworks. So they have electric, and they have beautiful Tartarian style architecture. This place is old. Huh. Young Men's Christian or YMCA. Yeah, all of them turn into YMCAs. And the big buildings turn into mental institutions or homes for children, dodgy fucking homes, etc. So, just showing you. I don't know this place at all, Albany, but it's absolutely beautiful. So I hope somebody who's viewing who knows this place is from there. So, I'm not going to show this. There is a warning with it. This was handed to me as well, but it's World War I injury, facial injury victims. I'm not going to show you. You could be eating your tea, and plus it'll stick in your mind tonight, and you won't go to sleep. It's horrible. I'll link it to you if you're interested in the First World War at all. See what they done to humanity. Okay, I had some guy in my comments today. Do you know what he said to me, guys? Okay, no offense to the person whatsoever, guys, but it's like our governments and religion would never, in capital letters, lie to us. You know, I felt the air go out of me. It's like, really? Is that what you think? You know, I just witnessed, you know, just over a year ago, the government basically, I'm not saying kill, but help to finish off my two closest family members by not giving them food, not caring for them properly. I had to go in there every day to keep it all ticking over, otherwise they'd been dead months before. Now, different circumstances for both, but they both ended exactly the same way, and they're doing it for everyone. Now, go back 100 years ago to the Great War, and they sent millions to battles with no aims to get rid of the surplus population. Okay, and like Gallipoli or Somme, you know, the first day of the Battle of the Somme, 1st of July, 1916, apparently like 28,000 British fell, and there was supposed to be 60,000 casualties, so that's how many they're saying are dead. Like it's a stadium filled dead. And this is what they do to humanity. So that guy, if you are watching my vlog, have a think about what you just said, right? Yeah, they don't lie to us, but they fucking kill us, or they send us to war and get us fucking mutilated. And worse, just, yes, they do lie. Okay, they're all in it together. They're all bloody bunch of gangsters. Okay, worst kind, magic. Beauty books. Now, thank you so much, for all of us doing exactly the same. The comments and reciprocate this, and I'm really, you know, can't thank you enough for the effort and basically sharing this with us all. If you don't know it and you haven't seen it, I posted it yesterday. And this is my other channel, in case you don't know, Flat Earth British. Okay, and I got another channel here as well. Okay, Martin Leaker seems to have got 2,600 subscribers for 3 videos. Weird. But I am going to be posting stuff all the time on this and do live events on this Flat Earth British channel. This will be my other stuff channel, and I'll be ploughing ahead with the Martin Leaker channel and wait for my other channel to come back. Now, somebody sent me a message this morning, which was rather sweet, in my emails, say, Martin, because you talk so quick, I couldn't quite catch the name of your P.O. Box number. Now, I haven't got a P.O. Box number. It's a joke. It's like all British TV programs would say, like Blue Peter, and it's on a postcard, P.O. Box FEB. Okay, so I'm doing that. Obviously, I haven't got a P.O. Box. Okay, I'm just taking the piss out of British telly. So here it goes, right? Thanks so much to Kate for this beautiful thing. Now, Robin on Lifting the Lid talked about it, showed a bit of it, and UAP. So yeah, thank you everybody who's mentioned this. UAP's in this book, by the way. He does an amazing write-up in the beginning introduction. So sit back, have a listen, and thank you so much, K Beauty and Beauty Publications. Wow. That's just super fantastic. Thank you so much. Absolutely love that. That's just the best. So you can order that book today through here. Okay. And it is a combination of all of the information that we've discovered up to a certain time, but there's more that has been discovered since. But it will give you a deeper understanding into the mechanism for this place. Okay, images of the day, which are pretty funky. Tartarians. Oh, this I've shown before, but newcomers to my channel won't have known this. These say, this is in an American magazine from the 1930s, that they are Tartarians, or Tartar warriors from Europe, and they got to America, and they got these strange shields, but they're covered in chainmail. And we know that electromagnetics do not go past chainmail of a certain property. Okay, you can buy it online now, electromagnetic shielding. Okay, which I have one on the back of my phone, by the way. Okay, so I don't fry my brain. I'm on the phone. Protect them. And this is, you know, supposed to be Tartarians, but you know, look at them. Look, what country would you say they're actually from? You know, it's hard to determine. They look like they're Europeans, British, just. And we're gonna look at some beautiful art because we can. Because we can. Excuse me. What I will do is I will give us some beautiful music. Very low. Very low. Right. Let's have a look at our pictures of today. Excuse me. Which are lovely, and some cluage. So I'm just looking at the flawlessness of this piece of marble, and you know, how long would it be to rub that down? The chisels they say that they had, and the technology at the time. It's just thinness of this veil. How do they do that with marble? Have you worked with marble? I used to work on stonemasonry, guys. This stuff is a nightmare to work with. You get it wrong, there's no room for error. It's a seam, it's gone. What about this? Somebody sent me this. This is, I believe, in Thailand, right, guys, and said, you want to see this? The whole village worships this guy. And I've seen him everywhere. He's got a crocodile head, he's a serpent, he's got some tech or something, scaly. And the entire town, like, worship this, you know, this is their thing in Thailand. But I'll show you, he's on Sumerian glyphs and stuff, the same character. Light, sound, technasmia. This got sent in. This is a really interesting one. So it's for the American membership of Yale Lodge. So it's a Freemasonic Lodge, Yale. So that's 322. Yale is skull and crossbones. So that's like all the old presidents, you know, Magog, or the Bush, you know, the Bushes, or all of them seem to come out of skull and crossbones. So you've got the everlasting lamp, which is synonymous with the Olympic lamp, and the mirror, the reason. But it's like projecting a reality into a portal, and it's all based on Noah's flood, skull and crossbones, the scythe for resetting, the hourglass because we only get a certain amount of time, and the handshake. Very, 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 very telling. She's standing on a globe, and so is she as well. Total domination, total mind control, total lies. All in, a lot of leaves. Wow. So let's look at some old depictions. So this is obviously France, could be Belgium. I used to love getting lost in France. I was lost in France, as Bonnie would say. She's one of us. I'm Welsh, like Bonnie Tyler. I love Wales. Yeah, they're going for independence, Wales. Yeah, they want sovereignty. They want to be like a San Marino. They got the marinas and everything. I'm all for it. Fucking brilliant. Cut Westminster off. That about own GTP every year. Be brilliant. Anyway. Mud flood. Old Greco-Romano pillars. This deep in mud. They look like the Turkish troops. Now, with the psyop of wars and everything else, I noticed something because I was watching Gallipoli the other night. And if you know about the campaign of Gallipoli, it's just a total waste of time. One of Churchill's many blunders. But I noticed this. When I was in Istanbul, it was a bit dangerous to drink ashore, actually, in clubs and stuff. So I went like nice hotels and stuff. But what you found is they were full of Germans. Okay, loads and loads of Germans, old Germans, the Germans from the war. And they got like a really close association with Turkey as the what was the Austro-Hungarian Empire and the Turks. They're very, very close. What is their connection exactly? I don't even know the pinpoint. Not an official narratives thinking, an alternative history thinking. You know, the Moors and the Phoenicians. Look at this. Stone. Butterflies. Lace in stone. I just find it endlessly fascinating and just mind-blowing to think that this is done by, you know, what they want to think is humans. There he is again. I'm not saying it's not done by humans, but advanced technology, guys. Some sort of tech we don't understand. So he's a giant. He's that same one in Thailand. He's got like a crocodile head. He's a giant. She's in the shell. She's just come up from the water. Everyone else is little. See them a lot. It's so relaxing here. I fell asleep. I love harp music. Something about harpsichord music as well. I think, you know, in this other realmly place where these exist, I think they got like this harp music and what sounds like, you know, if you've ever been delirious, you've ever been really ill, you ever had gangrene. When you got gangrene, you're dying, you've got sepsis, you get really fucking ill because you're going to die, and you start tripping out and you hear like, well, I did, harpsichord, what it was. Almost like angelic singings. Not like that at all, but you know what I mean. I can't do it, obviously. Yeah, I've had gangrene twice. I did my leg, and I had it in my toe. Yeah. Gas gangrene, woke up in the worst pain imaginable. But I was like a really carnage child. So they've had a mud flood in this Russian place. Bunko Booths. There's no need for all this decoration. What's the door? What's in there? Machinery. But it's been mud flooded. They haven't got paths. They can build this in the mud. Put all of that decoration on top in the mud. So these are star photos someone sent in to me. Thank you very, very, very much. You're on my computer there, I can't remember. But if you remember them atmospheric electricity masts that I showed you not so long ago, this is outside of Starford, where they're blasting cannons, and he got his fingers in his shoes. Just behind, they have what look like electricity masts in Starfords. So electricity, Starfords, maybe. But right behind the cannon, very interesting why that would be. More star footage cluage. Let's have a look, Except for that pile of mud. And some mudded and trees inside. Okay, let's have a look. Now, these are pumps from the Phoenician world, and they're from we show many, many books like this. So what you're going to get is all of these associated with getting water from below the water level on the land and pumping it into river courses. All the trees are wrecked because they've had events, and they're pumping it out into water courses. See, like a slipway. They're bringing it up from here. So I think it's like the water table below us. The trees are all gone, broke. And they're pumping water from below ground level, or below, over this, into this, this tributary. Same. They're pumping water from below the ground level, the water table, and they're pumping it into, off the land and into tributaries. So this is post-flood, and it's under the water table, and they're getting rid of it all. Because it's all swampy, you can't walk. Which we'll talk about later in this week. No, I've said before, is it possible that, Tsar Nicholas being royal, never really got killed by the Bolsheviks. They could have shipped him to England, and he could have just stood in the place of George, and no one had fucking known the difference. It's just, yeah, in my mind, yeah. How about they all are the same person anyway? How about that? Oh, how about that? They're the same person. Okay, and Lincoln is also the same person as Jefferson Davis and John Brown. What were they as actors? So perhaps again, it's a bridge. So as we get to the fourth bridge today, that's really interesting. Bit more on Brunel, Sousa's pineal gland, and what looks like the sun disk. Underwater civilizations, which are many of. Wow. Oh, that's a ceremonial mace. Egyptian, Phoenician ships. Zap. What this? Mud flooders all down there. Russian building. These. You are fucking joking. Wow. Scarab. What's she sheltering from? Why are they always doing that? Oh, this is Boston, is it? Detroit? They have a nice big Phoenician waterfall in Detroit. And the cover of Santana and Branxus was always my favourite. But not sure anymore, obviously. But it's deeply coded, guys. Deeply coded. I'm sure he's Tavistock Institute, Black Magic Woman and everything, player. But there's something I really like about that cover. What it is exactly? Phoenicians on a Delft pottery. And this strange little number. No, this is like a medieval fort. They got it chained up, so is it really tiny? Because Satan's helping them. And other demons. Come on, old chap, get up. Thank you, Beelzy. You're such a good chap. What about you? It's Biffin. Get moving, bitch. So yeah, they got the devils are helping them. So I guess this is just like, getting in the badness of their minds. Tartaria, Catholics, who knows? So yeah, Stephen architecture, or the taking of a fort, literally. Ah, is that curious? Said Alice. He's Tartarian. He's got feathers, ethers, stimulate the ether as he's going. This guy would be like the wind. You wouldn't even hear him coming. Right, last few images, and we're going to be going. It's 9 o'clock. You'll be seeing this about 10:30 tonight, and we're going to look at San Francisco. It's being built there, and there's something going on with this call tower. It's a cafe. Oh, I'd love to time travel and go in that cafe. So, before and after events, some more clues. soldiers riding into the fire on horseback. They're going to out it. They're going to blow it out. Stamp it out. Back to Nob Hill. Looking at Nob Hill from Market Street. And there's them same buildings. Like identical. What that one? Mud Flooder. Okay. And we got some more. These are beautiful, these ones. Look at that. Still there. Funny though, that never got fucking touched or hammed. It's still beautifully white. Please. So yeah, millions of questions being asked over this San Francisco thing. Not millions, you know, a lot of questions being asked about what the hell is going on. But we know. That's what he said. It's like Hiroshima. There's that building I just showed you. Imagine that in this day and age. It's like a horror film. Apocalypta. That's it, yeah. So they completely gutted it. It's not interesting. I haven't seen that because the light's shining through. No windows, no window frames, nothing. These buildings are already being built during the prior to the earthquake, by the way. You see them in every shot. But the structure stayed. Maybe she was built with some earthquake capability. There she is. Windows, window frames, Technasmia dome. Okay. We got some Confederate veterans doing a walk. Is that satanic devil stars? 1, 2, 5 pointed stars on a French restaurant. Nice touch. Nice touch. Plumbing Shepherd Plumbing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, great. The American Civil War survivors doing a march. Maybe they were at that reenactment at Gettysburg. We got a fire engine. Did you do well on Market Street? No, it was dismal. Look at just the whole thing, a grey wall of smoke. Just weird. Sees everything in bits. Okay, top hatters. Sheriff. These are lawmen. Look at this, Greco-Romano arches on this old building. Okay, no. So there's your old wills. Tartaria, taken out in a reset. San Francisco. 1906. So they say. Doors for giants. 4 candles. Well, that survived. And it was full of tobacco and cigars. So that's me. 2 hours, I reckon. Chinatown. Yeah, all them survivor photos. You never see any Chinaman. Yeah, it's like the biggest Chinatown on earth. You think there'd be loads of Chinese people in these photos. Gas. They're running. Wow. Wow. Beautiful. Furniture warehouse. Look at this one. Twin Towers looks bloody amazing. Tartaria and what that is. Look at this. Ooh. 1886. Well, stiletto. Won't be around for much longer. So I'm going to come back and recap. There's a rotunda up by the main city hall there. Beautiful. Lawman again. Shotgun. Mercs maybe. Clean and tidy. They don't live in this city. Oh, they're staying somewhere nice. Is he naked? What's that? Could be a woman in a dress. So, enough people are arriving here. Ships. Okay, let's move on. The ferry terminal's there. So we got a bit of a clean-up going on. Okay, fair enough. You'd expect that. Panoramic. Okay. Moving on. Panoramic. And a few repeats. Okay, I'm coming back because these could go on and on. So that survived. So that never. And all of the wires and poles still intact. Okay, San Francisco, the old world. Look at that. Wow. And some of these are from 1855. You see, quite some population there by then. Okay, I'm coming back. British on the scene. Friday night in 2020. What's this been about? The application of atmospheric electricity, free energy that existed in the old world of Tartaria, which wasn't all that long ago. Okay, in the Phoenician reset system. Okay, now, actually, I think I'm coming back. Now, that brilliant poem by Kay, which is beautiful, by the way. Okay, what if question. Now, I've got Facebook, so I've got like a bit thought for myself, and I was having a bit of a, sort of communicate with my higher self, and it prompted me. So the spirit told me, post that on Facebook, man. So I did. Facebook, you can join there. I will add you. Thank you, Ian. Oh, is that Brian Cant? I've seen him in real life. Sue Cadwell, she's from Cardiff, from nowhere. Alright. James Brockhurst and my son. Feel Good Friday, that was brilliant. I just watched this morning. And this is me. So it was my moment. Ah, it's my cousin there, Annalisa. Love you, cuz. It's my cousin Annalisa. How cool is that? Loads of my family are actually on here, which is rather sweet, and are very supportive of me these days. Now, this is what I come up with. Now, I'm a big, advocate of the law of attraction and intent, without doubt. I'm never limiting yourself and being, super fantastic about things in life, and not being negative, because then you're losing. I don't like that there, Rod Huff. That's not nice. It's us. I won't lie, it's blowing my mind. It was us all along. I knew it as a team, but I abused it. I have been sabotaging myself for my whole life, until 2015, when I woke the fuck up and the spell broke. I knew that what I intended would happen, without doubt. Something or someone has been in contact with me my whole life. I think it's a she, and she loves me. My soul guide, a genie. Whatever it is, I can feel it right now as I write this. We are not alone, and we never have been. It's a beautiful new day for all those who embrace and listen to the inner voice, the essence that is us, the creators. So, yeah, that was on my Facebook, and that's nice. Like, rather large response with that, if I'm truthful, and there's a lot of people on there, which is very epic. So that's what I've been doing. Okay. Getting all thoughtful on my Facebook. So make sure you join if you want. Okay. And this is the website, in case you don't know. Resources on here will give you all channels to have a look at. I got a shop for FEB products. Everything from an FEB frisbee for a little coat for your dog with FEB. Can you imagine walking around New York City with an FEB jacket on your dog? It'd be fucking epic, guys. Or whatever, in the outback. It doesn't even matter. Whatever. There's FEBs out there. Hey, epic, you share. please make sure you do, and like if you did. What's this been about? Free energy is a thing, okay? All them people needlessly suffering in coal mines and everything else, and all the other psyops that they're doing, saying they're producing this, saying they're producing that, when in fact they got it all along. It's electricity. It's the oldest trick in the book. It's called the electricity scam. It's been around a while. Peace and love. Be good. I will be back very soon. Make sure to keep an eye out for this coming out, this epic translation concerning mindblow. I've got one thing on Phoenicians and Tartarians, which is a bit we'll have to have a think about, and another one on can't remember. Deluge. I'm not even telling you. Deluge isn't all I'm going to tell you for now. Peace and love. Be good, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Happy whatever it is.